This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia tri-state area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey guys, a little bit weird today. Welcome to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. There you are, and here we are. Did I do that right?
As long as I'm here and they're there and everyone's
where they need to be.
As long as everyone's happy, I don't, whatever. I don't give a damn.
So, crazy episode today. Like, I'm pretty stoked to be part of it. I think WG's a little beside himself, doesn't really even know what to do about it and that he's made it this far. But I'm thrilled to be here. I'm going to be in the driver's seat today because we are celebrating 1 year of the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine.
I know. We had season 1 last year, and then we, over the holidays, took a little hiatus, and Allison Inslow Neal did this show where it was like, what's coming in 2023? And we kind of did this little flip the script thing. Nobody loves me more than me, but I don't like being over. I like... When you go on a trip, you go on a road trip. I'm the person that the significant other, she can say, let me drive for a while. You've been driving for 14 hours.
My husband says absolutely not.
I will get in the passenger seat, and there is no way I'm going to sleep. I'm like,
at least you get in the passenger seat.
And after 30 minutes, it's a control thing. I don't know. And I'm like, let me drive. Just let me. No, I'm like, you just killed.
I listened to that episode, so
You just killed 3 construction workers, and you kept going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hopefully, I don't do 4.
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. And we're off. And we're off and running.
I love it.
Okay.
Speaking of which, let's jump right into it. I know you don't know this, but we've been working with some of your past guests. Our first one, they've sent in some videos, or not videos. It's so hard to not think of video when you're recording like this.
But until you see me and you go, thank God there's no video.
It's got the face for radio.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got a few people that sent in some recordings to congratulate you on making a year. I think we're going to jump off with Simon Gerke. He was on the Star Wars episode, and his daughter Mary, who did a bonus episode for the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine.
Congratulations, WG.
And the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, Dubs. Happy 1-year anniversary. We have so enjoyed every episode and getting to hear from you in your creative, articulate manner all the wonderful things that we all got to experience growing up in Huntington. You do such a better job than I do trying to tell my kids about why I loved Huntington and all that. So it's awesome. We really appreciate you. And Mary has one more thing to say. What is that, Mary?
Thank you for being such a good friend to my dad.
There you go. Love you, Dubs. Congrats. God bless.
Hey, this is Trace Ritter in Nashville, Tennessee. I was on the Guitar Hero episode, and it was a total blast. Great memories, great fun talking with WG, killer host. Congratulations, WG, on 1 year of doing these podcasts. They're a blast to listen to. Always a good time. Always up my mood. Thanks.
Greetings, this is Jack Hubris, publisher of the Huntington Quarterly Magazine. I was honored to be a guest on the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine podcast for episode 42, where we traveled back in time to talk about some of Huntington's hottest bars from yesteryear, as well as some of the music of Casey and the Sunshine Band, the Commodores, and more. I want to congratulate WG on the 1-year anniversary of his highly entertaining podcast, and to co-host Vanessa Hankins, I want to say you're once, twice, 3 times a lady. I'm a big fan of the show and hope to see you around for years to come.
So what do you think about that, WG?
I don't know.
Are you shocked?
I'm flattered. I hate this. I really hate it.
I really think I would just cry, like if my friends were supporting me that much.
I have the best friends, family, and is one of your questions, how did this thing start? Is that did I already ask? Did that?
No,
it
I
all
don't know.
gets foggy.
I feel like we've talked about it when we're not recording, so I don't know if we've ever caught it on recording, but I would like what was that initial conversation when you went?
Shane Radcliffe owns Realty Exchange, and he lives down in Florida. And he, over a year ago, said, the real estate companies down here are doing podcasts. We need to be doing a podcast. I want to put your...
So it was Shane, not you.
Yeah, not me. No.
Okay.
I'm
shocked.
I'm full of myself, but I'm not that... Well, I am that full. Anyway, but he said, yeah, I want to put the voice into motion, and we can do this, and let's do it. I said, you mean like a real estate podcast? Yeah, how to get your house ready for the market and stuff. And I told him, I said, oh, Shane, I don't think anyone's going to listen. I said, it's so over.
HGTV has really beat that dead horse.
And there are so many podcasts and magazine articles, and if I need to know how to declutter my kitchen, it doesn't take long for me to find that out, and I'm not going to be able to pass anything. And it's also
TikTok exists, so
and it's also it's not real entertaining. I said, but if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. He said, well, you come up with another idea, and we have like almost 70 agents over 4 states.
Holy moly!
And I told him, I said, we're kind of like we are the rah cheerleader ambassadors for our areas.
You really are, because you guys do the training and everything. Like if you're going to go into real estate, you come to Realty Exchange, correct?
Yeah, and also just most of our agents grew up here. They're from here. They've lived here. Some people have transplanted recently from other markets, and that also brings a different twist. But I told him, I said, why don't we do a podcast about the area and like what we offer and the history, but not be I said, if you want boring, I can give you boring, but I
don't believe that.
I wouldn't have lasted long. I said, but I think that the key is going to be to make it entertaining without being silly. And he said, I'm handing the ball to you. You go, come up with whatever you want to come up with, and we'll go from there. And that's how the whole thing got started. So you'll notice on the podcast, we don't talk a ton about real estate. Every once in a while, we'll drop something here and there, but it's, the reason why we have so many people listening, which the original goal was, if we can get 100 people per month piggybacking on each other.
Feels like really lofty.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning stages of literally anything. I know, like even event planning. If we have 5 people show up, it's a success.
Yeah. I mean, and here we are at a year, so it would be a thing where it's like, if we can get 1,000 people listening to this show, wow, that would be awesome.
For sure.
And we've got many more than that. And it's not, and it ain't me. I'm not kidding.
You've had some pretty amazing guests, though.
Great guests. I had to beat the bushes for my friends that first season, just going, hey, I'm doing this podcast. You either used to live here, you live here now, or whatever. Do you mind coming? And they're like, and all of them were like, what? What do you want me to talk about? What are we going to talk about? We can talk about supermarkets or Star Wars, or
they might not be your friends after this.
And they were like, you're going to do a podcast and we're going to talk about, the East Drive-In? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, what the hell kind of podcast is this? Who's listening?
A different one.
I know. I was like, so anyway, yeah, we hit on something, but so that's how the whole thing started, and the numbers continue to go up, and the fact that like those messages we just heard, I'm blown away, and I'm thankful. Every single person who's ever been on the show will always have carte blanche to come back on. And you come up with the topic, we'll make it work, because you guys got us to where we are. You go on a cruise ship, I think I told you this already.
We
this
just,
little analogy.
we just went on this. Yeah.
You go on a cruise. When you get off of the cruise ship, you don't go, wow, that was the best captain of a cruise ship ever. Because you don't know who the captain is, and that's who I am.
Right.
I'm not the reason why you had a good time. The reason why you had a good time is the topic and the people on the ship.
The area, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, how's that nice extended dance mix of an answer?
No, because I guess we maybe had not talked about that off the air because I didn't know that. I really assumed in my head, and you know what they say about assumptions. So
yeah,
shame on me. But yeah, I figured it was you missing the previous life.
No, and I got to give it to Shane because Shane was like, I'm going to give the ball to you. We'll sponsor it. And Circle 270 Media, we always talk about Circle 270 Media, the podcast company, and they're the ones that are, because look,
so
folks, I list and sell real estate. We're going to record this, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to send this, or you're going to send this probably to them, and we're hands off. They put it out on all the platforms and put in the sound effects and all that stuff. I don't do any of that.
Well, and what's so funny about you saying that, you triggered a thought in my head while preparing for this because I wasn't sure how I was going to do or if I would really just drop the ball, and I still don't know. I guess we'll figure out what Circle 270 Media does with it. But I Googled you because I was like, man, what am I going to say to him or ask him that has not already been said? Because we go down these like rabbit
I'm an
holes
old guy. What does that mean? You Google? Do I owe you money now? Oh, that's not a...
Not
okay.
This, not this
Brandon, I'm out. I
love you, honey.
Yeah, I don't have anything to do with people Googling.
So, like, no information on you other than, like, an article with you and your dad, and, of course, that you work at Realty Exchange, that you opened your own business at one point, but then you shut it down to go in with Shane, and then you brought your dad back. I mean, and then listings that you have. So I was like, man, there's, like, nothing cool. Like, there's literally, like something to bring up to embarrass you. Cool,
is this going to turn around anytime soon?
Well, yeah.
I'm getting depressed about my life now. I'm getting very sad.
So, like, in the interview with the Herald Dispatch, I think it was, which is, like, literally, there was maybe 7 or 8 things that came up on you. That was one of them. And I didn't know what your dad looked like. So he's in the picture, you, Shane, your dad, and it's in the old office. I've never been in that office either. I have now, but not then. And you had said, like, how cool it was to bring your dad back and work with him again. And you go on to say, you know, like, I'm just a real estate agent. Like I've known that my whole life. Like it's been in my blood, whether I wanted it to be or not. Even when I went to Houston, when I came back, like this is where I knew I was going to be. Mm-hmm. So it's just super cool because I would have never known any of the things that I've learned about you through this podcast. So I just think it's so awesome, like to be here, be part of it, and see like what you've done.
Well, thank you.
Let's play some more testimonials.
This is Hank Dial, the city manager of Huntington, West Virginia, and I would like to congratulate WG Munch and the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine podcast on providing our region solid, gold, reminiscing material for the past year. Look forward to many more shows, buddy. Thank you. Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Al Kendall from the radio show Al Kendall's Album Sides on WMUL-FM right here in Huntington. When I'm not on the air telling you all you didn't know that you need to know about your favorite rock songs, I'm listening to or recording podcasts for the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine with my good buddy WG. You might remember me from an episode, Let's All Go to the Movies, reminiscing about the great Keith Albee Theater. If not, what are you waiting for? Go check it out. And while you're at it, don't miss my favorite episode that didn't involve me, the one on Camden Park. Do it now.
We're back. I really I'm just still blown away by the support that you have of all these people. Like I just think it's so cool. I don't want to keep going on and on about that, but since
you can keep going on and on about
I know
that.
You want to.
Hold on, let me kick back here. Oh, go ahead. I am quite the big deal. No, people love the show. It's not. I swear to God, it's not.
I just think it's awesome.
Well,
in little old Huntington, West Virginia.
I do too.
This podcast exists.
You know, I think it's almost half or about half of the people who listen to the show don't live here. Right.
Which was something so cool that I'm learning as your friends have sent in these videos, of course, like our videos.
Yeah,
I'm never going to get that right. The recordings. I'm learning that like so many people that have moved away are using the podcast to literally start conversations with their children about the place they grew up.
Yeah. And
so cool.
I probably one of my favorite stories is last summer, I guess it was, a girl I went to school with called me and said, I don't know if you remember me. We went to high school together. I said, of course I remember you. And she said, well, I just want to let you know, I've been listening to your show. I love it when they call it my show. It's not my show anyway. But
it's your show.
I've been listening to your show, and I'm driving back from vacation with my 2 teenage daughters. And just like
tough.
every single road trip we take, they've got their earbuds in, and I'm listening to some crime stories podcast
I was
or something.
literally about to say her kids must like her more than me because mine zoned me out on a road trip.
Yeah, but they're listening to their music or whatever.
Right.
And she said they saw me laughing. I think something like that. And she said they like saw me laugh, and they took their earbuds out and said, "What are you listening to?"
How dare you, Mom?
And I said it's a podcast about where I grew up, and it's this guy I went to high school with. And she said, before I know it, all 3 of us are listening, and I'm having to hit pause because they're asking questions. It was like, might have been the Camden Park one. They were like, so this is a real place? And
Yes.
she was like, yeah, I used to go there when I was like in elementary school all the time. They're like, wait, hold on. So stop, pause. What? So what is it? It is what? And she said that's the most interactive, most interactive conversation I've had with my daughters. And I was like, oh my God.
And that's what's so amazing about it. Like when I'm hearing these testimonials roll in from your friends, and I just think it's so awesome. So thank you to everyone that has done that. And we've got more to share with you throughout the show. Let's listen to more real quick.
I'm Andy Wise of AndyWiseChoices.com. WG and I were each other's first childhood best friends when I lived in Huntington from 1971 to 1977. You heard me as WG's guest on episode 10 about shopping Huntington supermarkets back in the day. My favorite episodes are episode 15, Lights, Camera, Action, with the filmmaker Spurlock sisters, and anything with Allison Enslow since she was my first grade crush at Meadows Elementary. Happy anniversary to my forever best friend WG Bunch and the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine.
Hey, this is Kristen Farrell, case manager at a community action organization and lifetime Huntington resident who got to do the Scratch and Tilt episode with WG and talk about how much fun we all had when we were kids. Also really enjoyed the hot dog wars. That was a neat one. But what I really like is hearing old friends getting on the show with you and chatting about all kinds of different things. You're doing a great job. Happy anniversary, man. Keep it up.
Hey, it's Frankenfurter, a.k.a. Allison Kinzer from Arlington, Virginia. I was on the Great Hot Dog Wars episode. My favorite episode of the podcast is Banana Joe's because I love learning about WG's secret past as a DJ, which I had no idea about. The podcast is amazing. I'm so happy to see how it's grown. I'm so proud of WG and all he's done. So exciting. Can't wait to see what comes next.
I mean, I'm still blown away by the support. I think it's pretty awesome, but I'm not going to let you talk. You got to wait because remember, I'm driving today.
Okay. All right.
You.
All right.
So I kind of butchered that intro, but I want to know where the intro came from. Your opening line. I wasn't that great at it, but you are.
The one with the girl talking or me talking?
You.
Oh, God.
I mean, did you do her verbiage as well?
No. Actually, Circle 270 Media. That the girl who, because some people have asked if it's you.
Me?
And, yeah, going, this is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. And they're like, is that Vanessa? And I'm like, I was like, no, it's a girl that works for Circle 270 Media, and
I was curious, and I always forget to ask you.
Yeah, her name is Talanda, and I have no idea where she lives, but anyway,
she's got the good voice.
Yeah, and so she records. But then, the intro I do. Oh God, this is so cheesy. Everybody who knows me is going to go. They're going to roll their eyes.
I've stressed the most about that intro, knowing that I was doing this today.
When I remember, I typically will introduce the show as, here we are and there you are. And that is, God.
Your face right now is priceless.
It's a line from a Kiss song called Psycho Circus.
Of course it is.
And
of course it is.
It's ridiculous.
Because anyone that's listened to the show knows.
I know.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. But that's how that song starts with, "Here we are, there you are." And I was like, that's perfect to introduce. Oh,
I mean, it really works, and I really
only
didn't put two and two
one,
together.
and they know who they are, and I'm not going to name you, but you know who you're. Only one person has ever said,
Ever caught on?
"Did you take that from Kiss Psycho Circus?" And I was like, how did you know that?
You caught me.
Yeah, they were like,
busted.
Gene Simmons is going to send you a bill. He's going to send you an invoice. I'm like, hopefully not. Anyway, that's how. And also, I don't do it as much anymore. But in the early episodes, I also used to always ask. Oh God, I'm so cheesy. I can't believe it. I used to ask the guests, "Did you have a good time?"
I mean, it's a good question.
But it's something that...
Did you hate it?
It's something that...
Or did you love it?
It's something that Paul Stanley says from Kiss at the end of every Kiss concert
So you're
when
just-
the confetti is coming
right.
down and pyrotechnics are going off.
You're just
and he
bringing
says,
your own Kiss show
I
to every
know,
episode.
I'm so unoriginal.
If you would have brought the confetti, like I would have been impressed with
I
that.
know. Yeah.
Shane
and
would have kicked us out of here, though. Probably.
I know. So I that's where I got. And finally, I went, little too much. I gotta
cut that out.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's where those came from. And I know people are rolling their eyes, going, "Oh, what?
We should have known.
What
we
a
should have known.
dummy, dumb."
Should have known. Okay, so I have some interesting questions for you. You always throw some games at me, so.
Oh my God, we've got games.
Not really games
Okay,
per se.
okay.
So we've got a few things I'm going to go over and get your input on them. Okay.
Okay.
So my dying thing that I want to know, because of course, if you've listened to the show, you know you've moved away to Houston, came back to do the real estate gig. But at what point in Huntington's history, if you could go back any time, would you go back to, and why?
Oh my God. Because of where Huntington was at the time, or because of where my life was?
No, even before you were born. You have any choice of Huntington's history. What time period would you go back and why?
Oh my!
I mean, it could be 5 years ago for all that matters.
I would. God, that's an interesting question. I would say I would go back to. You know what? I didn't live here during the Marshall football hoopla.
Oh, and it was a fun time to be here
with Chad Pennington and Randy Moss and all. And I was not here. That would have been cool to have been here because my dad would communicate to me, we're national champions of 1AA.
And you won't even come home.
I know, and I'm like, why? I got a job. I don't know. What do you want me to do? I mean,
right.
But that would have been a cool time to have been here.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, because it just kind of skyrocketed, and I would that would probably be my answer.
It was a really cool time to be here, and then I also think when they were filming We Are Marshall, it was a really cool time to be here and be downtown. And
now I was here for that.
Yeah, it was cool,
and
because there was always something going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it just seemed like Marshall just popped, and I wasn't here. And no offense to Marshall, but when I lived here, the football team they were awful.
It was just a college.
They were awful for a long time. That's when my mom worked there. And then by the time I left, they finally had a winning season, and it was huge. And the basketball team was always pretty good, Southern Conference team and stuff. And I know I'm relating this all to sports, but then when I left, it was like, oh no, now this and this and this. And I was at a sports bar in Houston, Texas with 17,000 humongous screens watching Marshall play in the 1AA national championship.
Right.
And I had a Marshall jersey on that my mom gave me because she worked for the football team.
Right.
And people were like, who is this? And what is going on? And I'm like, just shut up.
Is that what happens when you wear Houston stuff here?
A lot of people will go, is that the pro team or the college team? Who are the Cougars? Actually, I have a shirt that says Houston Cougars. And somebody thought it was a T-shirt about middle-aged women.
I was going to say the women that prey on the younger.
And I'm like, why would I wear?
I mean, middle schoolers wear the
I don't
MILF
need to
shirt,
know.
so-
But I'm like, why would I be at the
not so
grocery?
odd.
Why would I be at the grocery store with a T-shirt that says this is about women from Texas who like younger guys? Because I ain't no younger guy. Anyway,
That's pretty funny. So that kind of leads me to another question. Okay, so who are you most proud of coming from our area?
me?
You?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, you gotta you gotta pat yourself on the back.
Oh, people right now are going, that does not surprise me. Who am I proudest
Who are you
of?
most proud of? Yeah.
I mean, I'm proud. I can't. There's no way I'll be able to name a name. I'm proud of. I'm proud of the people I know because I grew up with them and I know what they made out of their lives and happy family lives and successful careers and stuff like that. You know, but as far as like quote unquote famous people and whatnot, I mean, I'm proud of anybody that makes a name for themselves. I think what I find are the people who used to live here who have success. I typically find don't cut the ties. They're not
To
like
the community.
Yeah, they're not like
Yes.
I'm not from there anymore.
Right.
I mean, you know, there are people. We had a high school reunion last summer, and people came back who had just never been back forever.
Like since high school?
Yeah, and they were like, but I just wanted to kind of reconnect. I don't have any family here.
That's cool.
I mean, you know, and yeah, so I don't think I'll be able to put a person to that one name, but yeah, I'm proud of all of you, and I'm going to be sending you all an invoice.
With that being said, let's hear from a few more of these people that we're proud of.
Hey, this is John Kinzer, WG's partner in crime in the 80s. I was on the Airballs, Fumbles, and Strikes Out podcast. I had to pick one other podcast I really like. I love the one about Safety Town. It was so quintessential Huntington to actually have a safety town. The WG, when Allison, my daughter, and I first talked to you about a podcast, we never had any idea that you would now have thousands of listeners. You've crushed it, buddy. Keep it up.
Hey, WG, it's Kim Spurlock. And my Spurlock, a.k.a. the Spurlock Sisters.
Yep.
We were so delighted to be featured in your Lights, Camera, Action podcast featuring the Spurlock Sisters. That's us. And I think our favorite episode is the one with you and your friend Simon Gerke talking about Star Wars and other adventures from your childhood, and just felt so much love between you guys. I think I got a tear in my eye.
We cried like little babies.
We did. Anywho's, congratulations.
We're very proud of you. This is awesome.
Hi, everyone. This is Mark R. Maynard, Senator for the 6th District of West Virginia. Last year, Mayor Steve Williams and myself were on the show discussing the 4th Avenue, Cruise Avenue reunion cruise. It was such a success. The car show crowd came out, the cruisers from the 80s and 90s came out, and a new generation joined us to see what cruising was all about. It was such a success that with the help of Adam to Z, this year we're doing it again. Sunday night before Memorial Day, May 28th, we'll be cruising 4th Avenue, and also Sunday night before Labor Day, September 3rd, we'll be cruising 4th Avenue. So please join us.
I mean, I keep saying it, but I just love hearing all these wonderful people say amazing things, and thankful to be part of it. Like, I don't know why you keep letting me come back.
Well, I love. I mean, everybody that's been on the show has added to the show, and all right. All these people seem to be saying my name, which is ridiculous. Thank you very much, but. It must have been the safety. The episode you did right after Safety Town? Was that East Drive-In?
I think it was the drive-in, yeah. Because I was a nervous wreck about it. I'd only been to one.
People and that's when people started saying, and they continue to say it, they're like, you and Vanessa sound like a real show. And I was like, well, thank you, question mark.
What have I been doing?
Yeah, I was like, thanks. Okay. Yeah, you need to keep her on. You guys sound like a real thing. Oh, okay. Thanks. Wow, I was chopped liver before, I guess.
Just over here being inappropriate.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, guys.
When you and when you're rotating people, Allison Enslow Neal, for instance, perfect example. She did like 5 episodes and hit it out of the park.
Yeah, she's great.
And I think I like the idea of having, and you and I still have the Jack Hooveruses and the Holly Smith Mounts and
Absolutely.
people. I mean, we still have them on. But yeah, so, and the fact that when, I listen to the audience, or at least the comments that I get from Circle 270 Media and stuff, and they're like, if Vanessa's willing to do it and she's there in town let's, I'll have to say, we have a generational gap. I mean,
We do. I think that's why it works.
Yes, because you're in your 30s, I'm in my 50s, and so it's kind of like each one of us is kind of like wait, explain it to me.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, you're like, there was no internet when you were young. I'm like, no, we used to have to send smoke signals from the top we used to have to, we used to have like mirrors from the sun that we would.
Is that the writing on the bathroom stalls? Is that how y'all communicated?
I can't comment on that.
Oh,
that's not.
Okay. I just know where that originated.
No.
So.
Well, anyway, we'll move on. No,
I
of
thought
course.
you might teach me something.
No, good Lord. Go. All right, back on track. All right. So, all right. Anything else?
Yeah, I do want to play a game. I know earlier I said no game, but I think I do want to do a this or that with you.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. Why
I
not?
have no
Why not?
idea what's coming here, folks. Let's. All right. Oh God.
Okay.
This
Your
sucks.
face is. I tell you, I hate it every time you do this to me. It makes me so nervous. So
Okay.
I'm glad that you're over there, like sweating bullets and looking like you're gonna have an aneurysm.
Okay, I'm
I
ready.
mean, don't please.
Okay, I won't. I'm ready.
All right, this or that. Chick-fil-A or Arby's?
Arby's.
Arby's.
I think Chick-fil-A is the most overrated.
It is so overrated.
It's so. There's too much. I'm not. And why? I don't know. My answer is Arby's.
Arby's.
Yeah,
You
Chick-fil-A.
You like the red sauce?
Neither one of them are my favorite, but if they're next to each other, I would probably.
You're choosing Arby's?
I'd probably go. Yes, they've got the meats.
Gotcha.
Wow, that really sounds very provocative. And that is not at everybody rewind. That is not what I mean. Go ahead.
Okay. Would you rather eat a scorpion's brain or frog legs?
A scorpion's brain or frog legs?
Yeah.
I've had frog legs. Frog legs are.
So would you try a scorpion's brain?
What the hell is that? Is that a real thing?
I don't know. I pulled it off the internet. I mean,
Scorpions. I mean, frog legs.
I wonder if it's a delicacy somewhere.
Frog legs are the worst chicken wings you'll ever have in your life.
Agreed.
They're just. I mean, it's the novelty of having. If I saw somebody else eat a scorpion's brain and they didn't die,
I mean, scorpions aren't that big, so it can't be much there.
It would be like a little.
Yeah, like you could
pebble.
It'd be like taking Claritin. Just swallow it and you wouldn't even taste it. That was a bad one. It's still
okay.
weird. I like weird.
I have no problem doing a scorpion's brain, I guess, unless it's a member from the band The Scorpions that sings "Rock You Like a Hurricane."
I love hair bands.
Couldn't
probably why I wasn't successful in the last episode.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're gonna go away from the this or that. This is my last one.
Okay.
What's your favorite podcast? And it can't be this one.
What episode?
What is your favorite podcast?
I don't listen to any. I swear.
Really?
I never have.
None.
I've never have.
So
I've never listened to one.
So I lied. I have one more question then.
And because
my curiosity is piqued.
There are podcasts about Star Wars and Kiss and all
and
these.
You've never even been curious.
When we started the show, I had never listened to one. And I still have never listened to one.
I am mind blown.
I will have to say, I sit at home by myself, by a candle, listening to this. People are like, who are all these people listening? It's me.
That's not creepy at all.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yes. I mean, good God. Yeah.
So really no podcast?
None. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't. I don't. Yeah.
So like people that I normally don't even like I'll be in conversation with and be like, yeah, I listen to podcasts because everyone listens to podcasts. What do you listen to? Because that's going to tell me everything I need to know about you.
I I don't watch 60 Minutes. I don't even like sports shows where it's just talking about sports. And so I'm like
60 Minutes, like that lets me know that you at least know true crime is like the big one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to any. I get bored very easily.
So
I binge watch.
What about audiobooks?
No. How old do you think I am? I'm not 80.
I'm not 80, and I like a good audio. I mean, it has to be a good voice. Like some of them, like I love that. Like pretty popular books, you can choose what voice you want.
I don't like audiobooks, and I don't like books.
What?
The good
Glad
one,
I didn't ask you like your favorite author.
Because the good ones they'll make a movie about, and then I'd much rather watch Leonardo DiCaprio play the character than me spend a week. I've had several problems with
not a book guy, not a podcast
with
guy.
women when we go on vacation and they want to sit on the beach and read, and I'm like, I am going to murder someone.
Literally my favorite thing in life to do.
Oh God, Brandon, you
drink and read a book.
I'll skip the reading a book part.
Well, and you would think, because I know you know I love horror, because we've talked about that before. But like I read the most brainless books on the beach, like that you can literally just zone out. You don't have to think. You don't have to worry about the character. Nothing. It's just mindless reading.
Here's the impression of anyone who goes to the beach with me. This is my impression of them. Will you just relax?
You can't relax.
Will you? I know. I'm just like. Is this all we're going to do is sit here?
You're that person.
Lay there? Or I'm like,
You need to play bocce ball. You ever play bocce ball on the beach?
I think I've seen it, but I've never played it.
Oh my God, it's the funnest old people thing. Like, why did old people keep that from us and we didn't know that it was so fun?
It's the funnest old people thing.
Well, because
thanks.
So listen, so like when Brandon was like, listen, let's play bocce ball. I'm like, what? That's like a rich old people thing. Like I'm from Wayne. I don't even. What's even in that ball? Is it heavy? Like I don't know. And
it's like a croquet ball or something.
Yeah. So
I've never
ordered it on Amazon because that's everything.
Yeah.
And get it. Never had the most fun of my life. Play it at the beach next time.
Bocce ball.
Bocce ball.
If the house that I'm staying at the beach has cable or internet,
you're not playing bocce ball.
I will probably not be playing bocce.
We don't even turn the TV on at the beach.
know it.
I'm learning so much about you in this 1 year anniversary show.
I know. I'm not.
I
I'm not
love it.
advertising myself.
I love it.
All right.
All right. Let's close out with a few more testimonials from our friends, and we'll wrap it up after.
Hey there, this is Tyson Compton, president of the Huntington Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I just want to say congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. This is such a great podcast. I had the pleasure of being on the Heritage Station podcast, and I've enjoyed listening to all of them. Jack Hooverus was particularly interesting, and I really enjoyed the music episode. But what I like is that it gives you sort of behind-the-scenes look at things you think you're familiar with, but you don't know all the story. And this is a great way to get the rest of that story. WG, way to go.
So we're ready to announce our winner of the backyard gift card. We had so many entries that we had to do a little randomizer. WG and I weren't real keen on how to do this, but there's a sweet little app that figures it out for us. But we spun the I don't even know what that word is. We spun the dial, and the app gave us the name Eric Norman out of Calixburg, Kentucky. So Eric Norman, contact us via Facebook and reach out and let us know how we can get in touch with you to claim your prize. So WG, in true fashion of me dropping the ball in a major way, we never talked about the sponsors. So I'm going to give it over to you because normally you give it over to me.
Oh, all right. Sponsors. Thanks to Realty Exchange. We are licensed in West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Florida. You go to realty-ex.com, and that's the website. Hey, if you're looking for something in the Huntington area, I don't mind being
He's got bills to pay.
Self-gratuitous, is that a thing?
Yeah.
304-633-3950. And, contact me. And then also our podcast company, Circle 270 Media. They're a big reason for the success. Google them, and they will hook you up for show. So there you go.
Do you want to take us on out of here since I usually do?
Oh, my God. I don't think I've ever done. Maybe I've done this. I'm not sure. All right. Well, hey, thanks for listening. There are a lot of other episodes out there, a lot of episodes coming. Some big names coming
I'm excited.
soon.
Super excited.
All right. And thank you, Vanessa. You did,
thank you.
You did a great job.
Oh, we'll see.
Stepping up to the plate.
This is like when the listeners go down in Circle 3 or 2 he's like, get her out, get her out of her, you're done.
This is when Robin comes and slashes Batman's throat and says, I really don't need you. All right, and we are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia tri-state area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@HTSTimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.